goosebumps everywhere. Yeah, so it just feels at the back of my neck that something's acknowledging that I'm here. I've had this feeling before here. I've never felt it anywhere else. It's just here. Hi, my name's Grahame. I lived here at Kilminorth for about 30 years. Left here about 20 years ago or so, 15 years ago. Grew up here and yeah, love the place.
Is it weird being back?
Very strange because it's probably been about 15 years since I've actually stepped into the house. So yeah, it's got a lot of vibes that I'm picking up on, but it's very strange. Right, so we're up here on the landing. This used to be a bedroom in here, which overlooks the front of the building. That is the dreaded landing.
So you described the corridor in your email as you came out of your bedroom to go to the bathroom,
yeah.
and you saw and sensed a shadowy figure in the corridor.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just at the end of the corridor. I've seen it a few times throughout my 30 years of being here, ever since I was a kid as well. Not all the time. It was just sometimes I would sense it, and I can feel now being back here that it knows I'm here, I think. It was a dark figure. It would fill the whole of that space. I would describe it as being hooded. But I used to close my eyes every time if I felt it, and I would run to the loo and straight back in my bedroom.
You described hearing animals and seeing shadows and animals and hearing downstairs dogs?
Yeah, I can remember being sort of quite young, probably 8, 9, something like that. My bedroom as a child used to be just in there. The door always used to be open, and I remember hearing growling. So I got up to investigate, and being a small kid, I just poked my head through these little bars here, and what I saw looked like 2 dogs fighting down in the just as you come in through the door there. Yeah. What I remember, they were blue in colour. They didn't look real.
Yeah.
But that's always kept with me as well. So yeah, I often heard growling, but whether that was to do with the entity or whether it was to do with that, I'm not too sure.
So this was your second bedroom?
Yeah.
When you were a teenager?
That's right, yeah. So yeah, the other bedroom was when I was a little kid. Then I moved into here when I was a teenager before upgrading to the other room. So yeah, it's looking quite sad. But I always felt safe in this room compared to that side. Used to have friends stay here when I was a teenager, and I was sleeping in the other room, and they would sleep in here, and they would sense something at the door. They always had the door closed, but they felt something beyond the door.
Did they hear something?
They heard there's somebody on the landing, because it's very creaky
Yeah,
along there.
yeah.
So they felt that there was somebody there, and they used to tell me the next morning. So which sort of like it was a big red flag for me. Sort of like, yeah, I know what you mean, because I've experienced that before. And they knew nothing about it, so yeah, that was a big alarm bell for me. But yeah. And this part is part of 2 cottages. This is the oldest, yeah, next door, and this room is the oldest. And as we go down the stairs there used to be old flagstone staircase spiral one that used to go down to a cellar, sort of side cellar, before going into the lounge downstairs. Goosebumps everywhere. Yeah, so it just feels at the back of my neck that something's acknowledging that I'm here. I've had this feeling before here. I've never felt it anywhere else. It's just here. And it's a really strange feeling.
So as if something is recognising your back, and it's...
Yeah, it's quite oppressive, to be honest.
Is this a similar feeling to the corridor? Or is it different? So
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've got goosebumps, yeah, really bad. This was my living room. It used to be a billiards room when I was a little kid. They used to have a massive billiards table in here. But yeah, this was my living room. And this is probably the oldest part of the building. That was my bedroom up there when I was a little kid.
So I've heard this was for hanging the pigs when they were...
Yeah, so when they were slaughtered, this is where they were hung. Some of the original hooks are up there. Also, that was used for, obviously, blood, everything else, cleaning, stuff like that. So yeah, this is where they sort of hung the meat to sort of drain the blood.
This again is the old part of the house, the original building.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see some of the house
Coming
exposed.
through, yeah, because growing up here, all you saw was this. You never saw any of the stonework, but I know when my grandfather was renovating the place, you could actually see the mortar, the horsehair and everything still in between the stones, which they're still there now, actually.
So this is the old building, the medieval, you were saying?
Medieval part of the building, yeah.
And then this is the second phase?
Yeah, this is the second phase, so that would have been probably about 200 years later.
So how's it been looking around your old house?
Yeah, it's been pretty weird. It's nice to come back, very nice to come back, but also it's opened quite a few emotions and feelings being back here. But yeah, no, it's been nice, been interesting. I've also got this old key here, which is the key to the front door. It's the original one, which my grandparents had off the Best family. It probably dates back maybe 250 years. There's a few hands touch this, so maybe you can use this as some sort of psychometry or a trigger object or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely use that as part of the investigation. Thank you very much.
No worries.